The EU summit has wrapped up in Versailles. The war in Ukraine was front and center. French President Emmanuel Macron said the bloc, together with its allies, acted through unity in the face of Russian aggression. The EU says a fourth round of sanctions on Moscow is being prepared. Take a listen.
We're ready to impose more sanctions. All options are on the table. We discussed ways to prepare for these sanctions, whether they would succeed in stopping the aggression, and how best to prepare for consequences in the coming weeks and months.
Now, the EU Commission President Ursula von der Leyen outlined how the Commission is due to come up with a proposal to wean the bloc off of Russian energy by 2027. Take a listen.
By mid-May, we will come up with a proposal to phase out our dependency on Russian gas, oil and coal by 2027. By the end of this month, the Commission will present options to limit the contagion effect of the rise of gas prices to electricity prices.
We can now go across to France 24's Catherine Nicholson, who covered that press conference for us. Catherine, one of the other things Ursula von der Leyen said when she spoke was that Ukraine is part of the European family. Given that statement, where do things stand on Ukraine's membership to the European Union?
It's a good question, and it's a question that many people were asking in the run-up to this summit here in Versailles. I just want to focus on the fact that that wording, Ukraine is part of the European family, was repeated by Ursula von der Leyen, also Charles Michel, he's the president of the EU Council, the body that convenes these summits, and also by the French President Emmanuel Macron, who was, of course, the host of the meeting. It's quite interesting wording because they're not saying, yes, we're going to formally put Ukraine on the official track of what's known as accession. It's a very formalized process. It's to do with opening up different chapters of reforms on judiciary, corruption, all those sorts of things. But clearly those leaders trying to hammer home this message that they do see strong links with Ukraine and the European Union. And there was talk about strengthening the partnership. Charles Michel saying we will move quickly to strengthen our links with Ukraine. So not a lot of detail on exactly what that means, but certainly a lot of sentiment. And Emmanuel Macron adding as well that the European Union will support Ukraine for as long as the war continues. And of course, the support extends beyond questions of Ukrainian potential membership of the EU. They laid out that some of the other kinds of support as well, material support, sending weapons to Ukraine, financial support, humanitarian support, various EU member states taking in more than 2 million refugees at this point.
You know, one of the other things, Catherine, that the French President Emmanuel Macron spoke about was Europe's sovereignty and independence, specifically when it comes to a European defense investment strategy. Tell us more about that.
Yes, this is something that's really been a bit of a hobby horse for Emmanuel Macron for quite some time, even well before this summit, well before the war in Ukraine and the Russian attack on Ukraine. President Macron warned a couple of years ago he felt that NATO had lost its way. He described it as being brain dead, and he's been talking ever since then about building up European defence and trying to win over other European leaders. Well, he's been winning them over thick and fast in the last couple of weeks, I can tell you that for nothing. And we've heard some strong words today in the Versailles Declaration, as they're calling the declaration that was published at the end of this summit, talking about how they intend to do that. So grouping together European defence capacities, trying to coordinate their armies so that they have similar capabilities, interoperability between different national armies in the European Union. I ought to probably underline for our viewers that there is no such thing as an EU army. Defence is very much a national competency. It's a decision to be taken by each national member state. But certainly we're seeing concrete steps, investments towards more European defence cooperation, and that has certainly been accelerated by the Russian aggression on Ukraine.
Catherine, thank you very much for that, Catherine.